Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. The opinions expressed in the following podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education and entertainment about the financial industry and the stock market. Enjoy!
On this episode of Pennies Going in Raw, there's a war outside.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Oh, you guys know we only have a 40% runner. Hello, 40% is a fucking killing.
We've been compliant for too long. It's time we go to war.
I don't have a Roth.
Hugh knows so much about the market that his brain doesn't have enough room for grammar.
Hey, who told me about IDEX? It's going up a shit ton now.
Rob, 4%, baby. No way. 4 fucking percent.
You asked the exact same question with 2 words different.
It's like, man, I just got dick whipped for like 20%, and now that f***er's up like 50.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
I'm just making this voice memo to call out unusual whales to a fight.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Pennies.
Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity Dips,
And Hugh, honey.
Produced by Vinny.
And Christian.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Pennies Going in Raw. Today is Sunday, February the 27th, and it's happened. I mean, we recorded our Bold Takes episode on Tuesday, and sure enough, right as it's releasing, Russia has started the war. You don't want, not a good time to dance, Hugh.
Oh, no, I'm not dancing about that.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, they've started their full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The market was tanking after hours. I remember if my surgery, because I got surgery on my wrist, I had a little fall.
Hold her up for the YouTube homies.
Can't really hold
there
it
she
up,
is. Looking pretty.
Trooper. But yeah, it's $3,000, by the way. I pay a lot for insurance. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, they must have been like,
expensive
we're
tumble.
done with you. Yeah. They're like, we're done with you.
But yeah, I actually had some spy puts just like playing around, before surgery. I was like, I got a nerve blocker in there, and they had me on like a little bit of like anesthesia, and I was just buying some. Up 80%. Man, if my surgery would have started an hour before the market closed instead of like right as market closed, and I would have held them, boy, I would have made a lot more money. But I sold them in the after hours, and SPY went all the way down to around, 405, 407-ish or so, before finally turning back up. And now we're recording this as the market closes on Friday, and it's at 437. I mean, it's up almost 10% from the low after war broke out.
Yeah, so I
Look at this. Look at that chart. Look at that weekly chart.
That's a sexy looking weekly chart, honestly. So here's the thing. One, I said that was accumulated. First off, whole Ukraine-Russian situation sucks. Like, everybody hates war. I think we talked about it a few times, but I think that this probably leads, if Ukraine is serious and Ukraine really doesn't back down within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I do think that this probably leads to Putin's, I don't want to call it failure, but Putin's, his downfall as a leader.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's on Ukraine's side. Not many people are. Everyone's like, hey, Russia's fucked. Even Pornhub. If you're in Russia and you went on Pornhub, apparently there is a Ukrainian flag that comes up if you're in Russia.
Russia doesn't even want this war.
No,
there's literally people in
protesting
the streets
in Moscow.
Yes. And so that is why, like, I just really think that there's, I don't know. See, here's the thing is that this leads to so much other stuff because you have Crimea. I mean, from Putin's perspective, you have Crimea, who, you're in a similar situation with. And then, from China, we talked about that situation last week. But I truly do feel that if Ukraine is serious about this and Ukraine will seriously spill, I'm talking blood, like I'm talking civil war blood, then I think that this ultimately leads to Putin's downfall.
Everyone, I remember whenever I was trying to learn about, a couple weeks ago, just trying to get the whole story down. I mean, they're just men, women arming themselves. Like they're ready to fight for their country, like militia style. Like there were people interviewing. He's like, "What is your profession?" He's like, "I'm a lawyer, but I hope I don't have to use these skills. But if I need to protect my country, I will." Yeah.
And the one thing is that invasions were huge back in the day. But
what is
now,
back in the day? You talking like Manifest Destiny?
Yeah, I'm talking we're talking, let's go back to the Romans.
1600. Roman. Jeez Louise, we're going real far back.
Well, everybody was invading because you had nothing better to do, So you just invade the homies to the left and to the right. And so we don't really see, obviously, we don't see many modern day invasions. Good thing. And, the last one that I really look at is Afghanistan. And even during even with Afghanistan, we saw how well that went. But I won't even go into that. But the one thing that is the difference here is that even in Afghanistan, not many people had TikTok and Twitter and phones and I think at that
social
time
media has got a lot bigger in the past decade.
Huge. So every time you open up TikTok, you open up Twitter, there's videos, and half the time I can't even tell if it's from Modern Warfare or if it's a real video. But it's just crazy, how much information is at our fingertips, and it really feels like the world is giving it so much more attention than because it's at our fingertips. It deserves a lot of attention, but now it's kids are now getting involved because they're on TikTok. They're on social media. So I think I'm not going to speculate on how things pan out, but I really do think that if Ukraine is serious about spilling serious blood, then this will ultimately probably lead to Putin's downfall.
So you're saying as long as Ukraine doesn't just lay down and surrender, this is
Honestly, if I'm being honest,
I dropped out of school before we really went over international diplomacy, so I don't have the most educated perspective on this. But no,
essentially, yes.
His people, or I don't know the percentage, but it seems like there's a good percentage of the people aren't happy with him. But then again, you go to America, half the people aren't going to be happy with the president too. But now it's everyone's kind of it's interesting to see how
wants this.
How do you think Trump would have handled this situation? Just because, him and Putin, there was always that little whatever.
I really don't know. You can't. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I think that he would probably, because he probably has to. I guess that really never matters. But I think he would have to side, obviously with NATO allies, and probably still has to play it the same. But he probably would have said something, completely outlandish.
I don't know. Him and Putin were kind of tight, weren't they?
They were, but I don't know. And maybe this is my personal bias getting in the way. I just don't know how you but what did he even say this week? Didn't Trump say something it's commendable what he's doing or something?
I don't know. I haven't downloaded the Truth app yet.
Hang on.
I'm sure you can just Google Trump comments. Trump
Putin comments. Oh, wow. All right. So I don't know if we can verify this completely, but this is from the New York Times 20 hours ago. Trump praises Putin, leaving Republicans in a bind. And then it goes on to quote, "He is pretty smart," Mr. Trump said on Wednesday at a Florida fundraiser.
Pretty and smart?
Pretty smart.
Oh, okay.
one thought. He's taking over a country for $2 worth of sanctions, he said. Taking over a country, really a vast location and a great piece of land with a lot of people and just walking right in. Wow. The idea that a former president would praise the man or leadership who American troops are even now traveling to confront and contain, said Jeffrey Engel, a presidential historian at some college. Basically, it sounds like Trump, it sounds like Trump isn't a fan of the sanctions, that he would have been tougher on the sanctions. But that's a really interesting thought. I don't know what he would have done, but I'm sure it would have been interesting.
God, we need him back on Twitter, man.
It sure have made the trading day more lively. I will say this, though. The 24-hour news cycle is a thing. And what we saw with COVID and what we saw now, two tragic situations. But someone from the True Trading Group, I was listening in, and Mike said something along the lines of, with COVID, it took 3 weeks for the market to stop moving from the headlines. Same thing like now. Putin comments, we drop 100 points. We announce sanctions, but that we're not going to do anything else. We go 100 points, stuff like that. So I think that will be the standard inside the next few weeks. Now, I still do think that there will be headlines that will come out and control the market, but ideally, this. Everybody's just trying to flex their muscles. It's a pissing contest, and then they come together and work some deal out. I don't know if that's possible, but it's just a whole damn situation sucks. There's never a winner from this.
The 3 weeks thing, because it really was like the market whenever they're like, oh, closer to a vaccine, boom. But then it like blah, 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 blah. It always affected. Then after a while, everyone's like, we don't care, dude.
Yeah. And so I really hope that this is just a major pissing contest and not some part of some grand scheme of things. That would be, obviously the worst case scenario. I mean, I guess we'll see. But overall, we can dive into a little bit. But
I think talking
you want to
about
dive into the SPY?
The market. Yeah, no, I mean, so last week or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Sorry, this pain medicine for my arm is. Sometimes they'll kick my ass. So we had our bold predictions, and you said you were down 12% on your SPY or your portfolio, whatever it was, on your long position because you were going all in. And it aired right as war was starting and the market was tanking. And I was like, oh my God, Hugh is going to look bad. There goes whatever credibility we had left. Congrats, dumbass. Like, we're screwed. And the next morning, we find ourselves rebounding, and for the next couple days, we find ourselves rebounding to the highest it's been in week or 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that the bounce back.
I saw one tweet to you that said, "Hey Hugh, how's that SPY or how's your positions doing? Your long positions with a down graph." So I guess it would be a good time, and we said we were going to update on the percentages. God. So you up now from your 12%? Can you give us a little update on our SPY?
Yeah. So the one thing that I want to be clear about is that I was down 12% when I was recording on Tuesday.
What that hit? Whenever it was in the after hours on Wednesday.
Probably close to 15 or 16.
Oh, only 3% after the market dropped.
Yeah, I'm well diversified. I'm not, I'm well diversified.
This should have got more stocks, dude. I told you more stocks.
Yeah. I'm well diversified. Like I said, I'm well diversified. My plan has not changed. My plan is the sideways stair stepping up to all-time highs and above all-time highs. On resistance, I'll take hedges. On support, I'll add back. And that's going to be the way I'm going to do it. I'm not shooting for 1,000% year no more. Fuck no. That shit used to stress me out. I'd be over risked, over leveraged. Fuck no. I'm not going for no 1,000% years no more. I want 300-400%. That's all. That's all I want.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah. And so
Not on
that's
pace
how,
for it right now, but that would be great.
not on pace for it right now. But that's how I'm going to do this. And, you know, I got it. Oh, man, y'all love to tell me when I'm wrong temporarily. I got probably 30 to 40 tweets after Wednesday's episode. Half of them being, I will say, a good majority, probably a little less than half were about Bitcoin, telling me either my 80,000 prediction was too low. The other one saying that I'm a dumbass, that Bitcoin's gonna go back down to sub 20,000 and stay there. You know, that anything sub $1 million and I'm a fraud. I mean, everything.
So you always say the market's never not reached new highs. Well, this, neither has Bitcoin.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. There's a lot more data to back up the market than there is crypto. Also, and this is one of my biggest points of why I'm not all in on Bitcoin, is that regulators said there's regulation coming. We know regulation's coming. And I'm not saying it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. But my point is, we don't know. We don't know. So now, okay, let's think about it this way. Not only do you have to be right about the direction of Bitcoin, you also have to now be right about regulation and how that's going to affect crypto. That to me is a big risk. If you're going to sit there and tell me regulation's bullish and you're going to sit there and explain it, I can probably sit on the opposite side and use your same facts and tell you why it's bearish. And then the final thing is that all this, decentralized, it's a hedge. I'm looking at the graphs between SPY and Bitcoin, and they're fucking the same thing.
Yeah, when coronavirus hit, I remember it gone from 10,000 to 9,800, then here's 3,000, boom. And I didn't have enough money to add.
And so my biggest thing is that I need everybody to chill out, all right? My positions, I put my money where my mouth is, that's when you can rag on me. Also, I got DMs like, yo, SPY's at 510. I know.
410.
Yeah, 410. It'll be at 510 soon. I got 410. I'm not watching this shit. I know. What? Sorry, my voice, man. I've been on the phone a lot lately, trying to calm down emotions. And so my plan is still intact. The stairway step, selling at resistance, buying back, holding a core position all the way up. Russia and Ukraine, as long as we slow play it and we stay out of this, we can give resources, but as long as we're not sending troops to Ukraine and we're not, declaring war on Russia, my plan will stay intact. Now, if we declare war on Russia, oh, fuck, or China we declare war, period, forget this plan. All right.
Dude, if we get a war with China, dude, we need to have a lot more plans than just the market.
Yeah. Honest. I mean, you and I can't be drafted, right? We talked about.
I know I can't. I have a foot thing. Yeah.
I got a heart condition. They don't want me. So, I mean, we'll still be here. But overall, as long as we don't declare war with anybody, you never know. But my plan is still staying intact. Again, inflation. We raised 25, 50 basis points. We see lower inflation. That's bullish for the economy. That's bullish for the market. Okay. I get the constant changing of bias, but it's like the constant changing from perma bull to perma bear that I don't enjoy personally. Okay. Intraday, I change my thesis constantly. I mean, I still day trade, even though I'm holding this core portfolio, I still day trade, with my side accounts and stuff like that. And I change bias constantly. But I don't like this nonsense where it's like we're at 450 and everybody's perma bull. Then we get down to 420 and everybody's a perma bear. All right. Inside that account, I have hedges on. Okay. That's the reason. So I can be a perma bull, but I can still be short term, bear. And that's okay. Or I have hedges on because I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Okay. We want to go to war. We decide to raise rates out of nowhere. Shit like that. Fine. All right. That's what I'm talking about is that you can switch bias, but stop this perma bull to perma bear nonsense in my DMs. I love getting DMs. I hate when I look and it's like, yeah, you're dumbass. Like the market's going back to 250. And then I get a message on a Friday at 3 p.m. telling me I'm a genius. And then, the same guy on Tuesday, when the market's down, will be telling me that I should have gone short with them. Like, you can change your bias, just don't be a.
The amount of like puts and calls that were down to like worthless amounts and then just shot up was amazing. Like, just the fact that I was like, oh, these are too low to even sell. No point. And then all of a sudden, okay, we're at 435 again. That wasn't supposed to happen. Like you got to be on top of it with what's going on now. But no, it's amazing. You can play both sides super easy. And this is why we were talking about it just 2-3 weeks ago. This is the time. Hey, and we were talking about it in different ways. Hugh was talking about it for longer term. Mine was throughout intraday. Jacked. Yeah, you're looking ripped, dude.
Damn. Okay.
But no, with the same days, when I was saying start off with just one SPY option, maybe at maybe two. I know they're like $200, $300, but that's where these days that we had this week, the end of the week. Oh my goodness! Even with just one contract, you could have been making like $4,000 because those moves 100%. Are crazy. And that's what we were saying just 3 weeks ago. Like this is the time to practice. So whenever this day comes, you can really benefit. And I hope a lot of people did.
Listen, volatility is still obviously super high. Great thing about volatility is that when the moves are fluid, they're fluid. When the moves chop, they chop. Okay. It's like a double-edged sword. Now, the one thing that I'll say is that when you're trading inside volatility, it's really important to have a plan and not get too biased. Like let's think about today, or we're recording this on Friday after the market closed. Okay, it felt like everybody, because we had a big day on Thursday, it felt like Friday everybody was like, "Hey, let's go off open and then let's short this pig down into end of day." Because the last few weeks nobody's been wanting to be risk on over a weekend.
Yeah, no one was holding shit over the weekend,
especially after last weekend.
And now it's like, hey, we're starting, but now everyone's like, fuck it, whatever, we're good now. At least we know what's happening. It's no longer a waiting game.
And this is where like that mindset comes in, that like, okay, that's happened too many times. Okay, it seems too obvious. You know what I mean? Like, okay, nobody wants to hold it over the weekend. Well, what are they going to do? If nobody wants to hold it over the weekend, everyone's, short bias, they're just going to squeeze it higher.
On Thursday, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, it's going up a lot. We're like 420, 425-ish. This seems like the place to buy puts for maybe Monday or Friday, but thank God it didn't. It's soaring.
No, exactly. And so this is where like I really truly feel that at least myself has, you and I both have an edge, because like today, Friday, Friday's close. It really felt like everybody was trying to sink their teeth and make the move down. And obviously markets closed right at highs, and everybody was like had their finger on the trigger, waiting to short the market. And then when the headline came out about NVIDIA, cybersecurity, potential cybersecurity investigation, that they might have been hacked or something. I forget the headline. Everybody was like piled in short, and the market failed 1, 2, 3 times. Like the market, failed real fast. But I put it on like a few floors and stuff, a few Discords, and I texted a few people. And I was like, "Yo, relax. Like if this was like a true thing, NVIDIA should have." Fucking got smoked. And instead, it really felt like somebody knew before this news was coming out it felt like somebody knew before the news was coming out because NVIDIA was red while like everything else was green.
Maybe it was the hacker.
So could have been. Yeah, but so that's where I think it's like, they short it down, and then while everyone's shorting it, they're buying it up, and then they squeeze into the end of the day. So I think it's like one of those situations where inside this market right now, expect the unexpected always, but especially right now with this volatility. Now again, right now I'm currently perma bull, but I have my risk intact, and I'm going to continue to go down, this wave. As I said, I'm perma bull, but like I still day trade on the side. It still keeps me afloat. Like I have, we make money from the podcast. Like I'm not like I won't blow up. If we don't hit all time highs within the next 8 weeks. I just want that out there.
I think this has been. This past month has been the most I've learned about like just trading in quite a while. Just this amount of volatility you're seeing in the market. Just it was the time to learn how to trade range on SPY. It was the time to learn options. It was the time to learn how to short and play. It was the thing to trade. This was a large cap beginning of the year when we're used to small caps, and being able to adjust to that. And even if it was just less adjusting, just not losing and learning a new trick, I think taking advantage of that was a big blessing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And just real quick, like while we're recording this podcast, there was someone who, the FinTwit person who, this guy was calling for like 3,800 for like the past, like, few weeks. And he was right. He's been right, and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, we could be at 4,800 before March. Literally yesterday, he tweeted, can't wait to go long VIX again. Bro, like, I hate this like super, like, why is it got to be 3,800 or 4,800? I don't know. I'm in like I don't know. Maybe I'm just in like a pissy mood today. But I think this shit's bothering me. I don't know. This shit's really bothering me. This whole like 3,800.
It's always got to be black or white for these people.
So like me personally going into next week, I took off about 10% of my positions to trade around the core, and I'm hoping for a dip to get long again. We got the Fed meeting next week, and it's going to be big. And I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited because the volatility excites me. Like I love the tingle in my nuts when it's like, when SPY's at 410 and I got like everybody DMing me, like Hugh, like what the fuck? Like I really wanted to follow you into the market here long. Like what the fuck? And then it's like all of a sudden, like the same guys are like, like, okay, that's cool.
Gotcha.
Like I like that tingle where it's like, your life's on the line, baby. You got 30 seconds left on inside the game. It's fourth quarter. You're on the 20-yard line. You got to hit a big one. We hit a big one the last 2 days.
Yeah, no. And the people that lost are the ones that got scared, And that's the big thing about having a plan. And hey, I'm not sure if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I did tell you that they would wait until after the
you did
Olympics.
You did.
And the Olympics ended the 22nd, and they went in on the 23rd. So,
oh my goodness!
I said he had to wait because it was in Beijing, and he didn't want to piss off. I actually don't know the Chinese president's name. Sorry, China.
I couldn't say it.
I'd probably butcher it anyways. But yeah, no, I may have called that to the day. I might have called that to the day. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. That was kind of impressive. Not to my own horn.
And then the next thing that I really want to go over is small caps right now. I get a lot of questions about small caps. Listen, small caps are going to have their time, especially when I think, again, I have this big thesis that when we get close to that all-time highs, and it really feels like, the Ukraine and Russia situation is kind of chilled out, and then it feels like the Fed situation is kind of relaxed a little bit. We're starting to curve inflation, but maybe the Fed's still, kind of buying, a nice little tightrope, if you will. This is when I believe that growth will have a run. Okay. Now, the important part to this is that I believe good growth will have its run.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's at the time where I'm like, a lot of these small caps, I'm like, dude, are they going to reverse or are they going OTC? You know?
Exactly. And the thing is that there's still money to be made. But if you truly want to swing, a penny stock, or you want to swing honestly, I'll just go out there, anything under $5 a share. I believe that they will have their time again soon. But it's going to be the ones that are truly good growth that have a chance.
January 2023 option calls on them. I'm telling you.
I think that it's going to be what comes down to good fundamentals, already revenue. Maybe they got a few kinks to work out inside the business plan, but overall, they're on their way. I honestly, I'd stay away from most crypto companies. I don't believe that most of them make it out of this year. The expenses alone, the operating expenses plus.
So you don't like my EQOS swing right now?
Listen, I love trading small cap Bitcoins. Okay. And like if Bitcoin has some crazy catalyst that makes it go, bazoom, I'll be there for CAN, EQOS, ANTM, or whatever. Like I'll be there. But am I going to swing it? Hell to the no, brother. Hell no. Just like I ain't swinging oil stocks. Like oil stocks gapped up.
Dude,
all the crappy.
We should have thought about CEI. How did we not think about CEI pre-war? Like that bitch was down to like 30 cents. It ran like 40% 2 days in a row. But yeah, no, like CEI, crazy run. We just didn't even think about it. Well, because every time there's war, it's always oil, always fucking oil.
Yeah, no, it always is oil. But here's the thing: is that like, so the same token, we didn't know if Putin, Biden and Macaroon. I think I messed that up, but Macaroon, would meet and come to their own treaty or something, because then, oil would be because I'm still bullish on the market, which means I'm bearish on oil. So I think oil is going to go back down to like $75 a barrel.
Free gas.
And so, inverted again.
Yeah, you get paid.
And so,
whenever it was like gas was like so cheap, people were like, oh, dude, I'm just buy up. Like, where are you putting all these barrels of oil, dude?
We used to talk about that. We used to talk about buying a ship and putting it in the middle of the Atlantic from when gas prices went up. But so my point to this is that you won't see, even if, like, for instance, oil seems like a no-brainer, with what was happening. But if they had come to a treaty, oil would have tanked to 80 a barrel. And so even though the oil piece of garbage companies really, they went 50, 60, 100% on Tuesday, you won't see me swinging them. Just like you won't see me swinging any of the crypto guys. Now I'll trade
short them then.
You just won't see me crypting it. What?
Short them then.
No, I ain't gonna do that either.
Coward. All right. Well, is that our war podcast?
I think so.
We would like to show some concern, some thoughts, our prayers to the people of Ukraine, anyone that has family there. We hope that they are all doing well. And lastly, on March 3rd, Thursday, Gaming Wall Street comes out, documentary on HBO Max featuring me and Tommy Cooperman. It shows a lot of people that lost and made and the fucked up shit that Robin Hood did. So maybe check it out. And everyone have a tremendous trading week, and I hope you had a great weekend. Hugh, any last words?
Remember these moments. I think a lot of the times we're so pent up and we're so, we're so like, market that we don't stop and smell the roses sometimes and think about like, wow, like that's a crazy move that the market just made, both down and up. And the other thing is that I'm a big data guy. So I don't have a journal, but I think it'd be useful if you wrote down, hey, this is how it happened, this is how it went, stuff like that, for, inevitably, probably the next time that this does happen. Because unfortunately, the odds are in the favor that something like this happens again, inside our lifetime. So, or some kind of conflict, I'll say. And so I think that it's really important to keep that in mind. And, you can use this experience that you're gaining right now, even if you feel like you're getting smoked and you're running around with like your head cut off. That's okay. Write that down and like, wow, like SPY, was down 2% and then closed the day up 1%. And then the next day gapped up 2%. I was short biased. Why was I short biased? What should I have been thinking? Stuff like that. Like, that's all important stuff that one day you can come back to.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of times in a market like this where you're thinking to yourself, it's like, I'm cutting losses quick, but then it's like, damn, this thing just went bonkers, like SPY. I mean, like I said, with the options that were worthless, but you live, you learn, you trade another day. Take care, fellas, and the ladies.
Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.